Breedlove. I'm a member of the RBA Archaeology Group. I'm standing in for Lynetta Thompson, who is the immediate past leader of the NAACP. I'm going to read her statement on this event today. Good evening, family. Every one of you out here this evening. I want to first commend Mayor Stoney for submitting to the Rose Foundation Center the Shocko Bottom Plan, and thank the Rose Center for selecting Richmond as one of its investment projects. Shocko Bottom is a historical landmark that hasn't been recognized for the wealth and the history it holds. Now is definitely the time to work towards building a shared vision, relationship that speaks from the descendants of the enslaved Africans. We look forward to working with our mayor and making the Shocko Bottom Memorial Park a reality. It is an international site and a site that speaks honestly about reconciliation and truth. I stand here as a representative of my community, the black community, a voice to say this time we don't intend to be left out. I don't intend to be left out. We will show up and have a seat at the table to speak for the economic benefits and the community development opportunities that must rise from this work. I will do my part to help engage my community in coming out and taking hold of what I see as opportunity that will empower us and take ownership and leadership telling our story, our history. Again, I applaud Mayor Stoney, and I hope he will embrace the recommendations and strong suggestions that were presented to him by the Rose Center. This historical landmark will not only impact Richmond, Virginia, but this country and the nation. It is extremely vital that it is developed, that this development is inclusive and not be chopped up. We are asking that this project include the full 9 acres, including the 2 blocks east of the railroad track. This story must be told truthfully and with compassion and reconciliation, no matter how offensive it may appear. We must continue to stand united in this effort and stand with our mayor as he works to lay a foundation of reconciliation and truth, which has not been successful in many of the previous administrations. Again, thank each of you for being here, and let's protect our rights to self-determination and growth. Thank you, Lynetta Thompson.
Thank you so much, Florence and Lynetta. My name is Ellen Chapman, and I'm the one of the co-founders of RBA Archaeology. I've also been working on my dissertation on Richmond's archaeology for the last 2 years. It includes a lot of these conversations around how we should best memorialize and be good archaeological stewards in our city. I'd like to thank the city for embarking on the Rose Center for Public Leadership Land Use Fellowship to create a sensitive, historically appropriate, and equitable plan for Shocko Bottom. The meeting on February 8th was a step forward for Richmond in many ways, including for its archaeological resources. The meeting called for an archaeological do no harm policy for Shocko before their full plan is implemented. This is essential because the vast majority of Shocko Bottom has never been archaeologically tested. Documentary studies of the area, like the 2014 Dutton and Associates report and the limited excavations at the Devil's Half Acre site, indicate that there are likely many more preserved sites below the surface. Currently, without a new policy, there is nothing in federal, state, or city law that would prevent a private developer, or even the city itself, from destroying sites prior to the conclusion of this process. I would like like to request today that the Rose Fellowship Group consider 2 additional points as they move forward in their plan. The first is that archaeology can and often should be a public process in which members of the public are invited in through tours, school group visits, volunteer opportunities, interpretation of ongoing findings, social media, and public input into the planned research design. Moreover, the potential educational opportunities for local school children in this project are incredible. We did not hear much about this in the February 8th meeting about how archaeological investigations would be conducted, and I want to emphasize that this is a unique opportunity that should be conducted in the most accessible way possible. The second is that the city should be flexible and expansive as it decides the extent of any historical commemoration, and archaeological testing should be used in determining the project scale. Despite the documentary studies that have been done so far, we still have a very limited understanding of archaeological sensitivity and resources in the bottom. While much of the city-led conversation regarding a historical memorial, pavilion, or a park has focused on the space, including the Devil's Half Acre and the burial ground, areas to the east of the train tracks also have considerable likelihood of archaeological preservation. The city acknowledged this in 2015 when it passed a resolution supporting an archaeological excavation at the site of Seabrook's Tobacco Warehouse at 18th and Gray Street. The Rose Fellowship showed admirable and long overdue flexibility when it expanded the project area in response to expert information it was getting from its panels. Approaching the development of Shocko Bottom with similar flexibility will create a project that can best enhance heritage tourism, small business development, and archaeological understandings of the interstate slave trade and the other important historical aspects of the bottom. I want to thank the city again. This is a long overdue and really essential part of learning more about the city's role in the slave trade and commemorating it and giving it what it's due. And I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Hi, I'm Marty Jewell, former city councilman, city of Richmond. I first want to thank Mayor Stoney, if I can get this out, my voice ain't working right, for bringing the Rose Center here, who presented a magnificent vision of how this all can happen and how this area and the entire city can develop to benefit us all. This is a place of conscience, Shocko Bottom is, and we cannot treat it half-handedly. I believe that properly treated, Richmond can rival the size and scope of historic Williamsburg if we put our efforts together and generate the kind of support worldwide. We will also attract visitation worldwide. You can't get there, however, just talking about reconciliation. Without truth, there can be no reconciliation. And we made half-hearted attempts at that. Emphasize over and over that we must have a truth and reconciliation process that should guide all else. And so we're fortunate that the mayor would bring these people here and put an end to our grievance for the last several years with city leadership and provide total support for the vision that these people have been putting together for the last 3 or more years, trying to get a full-on process that will be beneficial to Richmond, to Virginia, and the world.
Well, my My name is Phil Waledo. I'm the editor of the Virginia Defender newspaper, and lucky to be the husband of Anna Edwards, chair of our Sacred Ground Historical Reclamation Project, who was called at the last minute to bring a close family friend to the hospital in an emergency situation. So I'm filling in for her. I don't want to add very much to what has already been said. We are pleased and pleasantly surprised at the positive report that the Rose Center for Public Leadership delivered here just about a week and a half ago. The emphasis on examining unflinchingly the truth of what happened here before any decision is made about how to memorialize it is something that we totally agree with and have been raising for 15 years. We agree wholeheartedly that whatever memorialization takes place has to include more than the narrow site of Lumpkin's Jail as was proposed by the previous mayor. And we emphasize, as Ms. Thompson did, that the voice of the black community, which are the descendants of people who suffered and resisted and died in places like Shocko Bottom, has to be primary in the decision-making about what happens to this sacred ground. We have a couple of little symbolic props here. One is this caution tape, that if you can imagine, it's strung around these two blocks, Broad Street, down 17th, and right on Grace. That adds just 2 blocks to the area on the other tracks. Those 2 blocks are critical to including in any memorialization. Why? Because number one, otherwise, the memorial will be confined between the railroad tracks and the I-95 highway, out of sight, out of mind, like black history in the city has been since the beginning. Number two, there are at least 3 and possibly 4 slave jails located within just these 2 blocks, as well as many trader offices and supporting businesses. The slave jail belonging to Silas Alejandro is just immediately across the street. It was the same size as Lumpkin's Jail and just as important. So these 2 blocks have to be included in any memorialization to create the 9-acre Shocko Bottom Memorial Park that the Richmond community has been demanding for 3 years, and that is what has brought us to this place without there is a broader agreement. And secondly, the voice of the black community has to be primary in the decision-making process. Rose Center said it might take 10 or 15 years to realize this vision. We think it can happen a lot sooner, so we went out and bought this golden shovel, which we will offer to whoever winds up in charge of this project, or perhaps it'll be us, and we will dig the first shovelful of ground out of this desecrated land to create that memorial, and once and for all come to grips with the true history of what's happened here and move forward through reparations and then reconciliation. Thank you.